Hi everybody, it's Melissa. I was just wanting to do a quick video about being the significant other, or SO, of someone with MP. I am the significant other of Tommy. We've been together, almost 10 years now? And I think some folks had some questions that they wanted to talk about, so I got a little list here. Thought I'd do some responses. How did you react when you first learned that Tommy was MP? I know that some people get a real complex about it, and they get really excited. They want to know everything, and to the point of they forget to have a relationship on an appropriate sort of one person at a time level, I think. And they just get so fascinated with the whole MP thing, and they just get really excited about it. And, but, you know, I think that I was pretty cool about it. I mean, I wasn't wigged out, and, you know, I had learned a little bit about MP before, and I'd seen Sybil, and, I knew that it generally was not something where somebody comes out to be dangerous. If anything, it's mostly the person with MP tends to be more dangerous to themselves, just because it's so disorienting, because you lose all that time and you don't know what you've been doing, or at least you don't know what your body's been doing while you haven't been there. And I think it can be a little mostly disorienting. But I think I was reacting pretty cool. She had built it up into this great big huge thing. By the time she was like, "Oh, I have this thing I gotta tell you." So by the time she actually got to it, I was expecting like snakes to crawl out of her ears or something, but it really wasn't that big a deal. How do you deal with the alters coming out? The alters are, you know, they're cool folks. For the most part, everybody is pretty relaxed. I think that we're lucky because there's such good cooperation in the gang. You know, they talk to Tommy and she talks to them, and they talk to each other, and everybody kind of discusses a lot of stuff. And I think they did initially they did the protection thing, which is what their whole gig is they try to protect her and each other from outside dangerous sources. But I think that they came to a place where they felt like they could trust me, or at least, you know, some of them did at first, and some took a little longer. And but they came to a place where they felt they could trust me at least enough to come out and talk to me, and we could hang out and you know, just talk occasionally. But yeah, I mean, they're different. They're different people, and that's how you have to address them. It's like meeting a new friend. It just happens to look a whole lot like an old friend, at least to you. To them, they look different usually, or at least in Tommy's alters, they you know, perceive themselves as different body. When they looked in a mirror, they saw themselves and not Tommy. Although I recently learned that apparently they do see Tommy now when they look in a mirror, so I think that's a little more disorienting for them. Okay, another question. What do you do when a little comes out, or if a little comes out during sex? When a little comes out, it's, you know, like a little kid has come by and is hanging out. Although they are surprising sometimes. The littles have been taught by the older alters how to drive. So that's a little disorienting the first time when a 4-year-old is suddenly driving the car. And but I mean, they're very competent children. The littles usually do a pretty good job about you know, faking it, as far as like if you know, in a restaurant, they do a really good adult Tommy impression to do, you know, if they've got to take care of adult things while they're out. But again, with the cooperation, that helps a lot, so that they kind of know already what's going on. The only thing where it becomes weird is whenever we go through the toy departments of stores, they tend to want to make suggestions about things we should buy. And occasionally there'll be odd food choices, Happy Meals, that kind of thing. Or, what was the other one I was going to say? Oh, if they decide to pop out and visit during when we're watching movies that are thoroughly inappropriate for small people, like Reservoir Dogs, or something that's terribly violent or terribly sexy. Occasionally they'll pop out and visit, and then I try to grab the remote quickly. And I know that they've been through actual childhood, have been exposed to all kinds of terrible things, but I try to protect them when I can, just because it's what I do. The littles, thankfully, have not come out during adult relations, which is a good part of their cooperation. They have already laid down ground rules as far as when you can come out and when it's okay. You have to ask permission, and you have to wait for a answer of yes before you can come out. Because that was a process. Because they would just ask permission and then they would just show up without waiting for an actual answer, which was a problem. But they worked that out even before I met them. So that was something that they had already gotten taken care of. Do you have a relationship with the Alters? Yes, I have a relationship with many of the Alters. Not the same kind of relationship that I have with Tommy. In our relationship, it's Tommy and I are a married couple, depending on what state you live in. And the Alters, we're friends, but I'm not like dating lots of them at once. When we first got together, there was some discussion about that, but I don't know, it just felt weird because they're different people, and it didn't really work out like that.